Wilco just released a 4 CD, 5 album, not 10, 5 album, deluxe, reissue, remastered, reloved Summerteeth. It was the 3rd album, and a lot of people say it was one of their best, and we're going to talk about a part of that right now. Hey everybody, Chris King here on the Love Live Music channel on YouTube. Thanks so much for tuning in, or welcome if this is your first time. Today we're talking about the Wilco Summerteeth Deluxe reissue with all the, it's got the original album, sounding better than ever. We've got a lot of bonus tracks, and those are a big part of this release. But the biggest part to me, as someone who loves live music, and the part that might interest you the most, is that there is a 2-disc concert on this reissue. It is Wilco performing live at the Boulder Theater in Boulder, Colorado. It happened in early November 1999. Seems like a lifetime ago, but this was a really important part of Wilco's history and their development as a band. And some would say that in this moment, Wilco might have been one of the greatest rock and roll bands in the whole country. So let's talk specifically, if you got the CD of this reissue, we're talking about discs 3 and 4, which is going to be this concert from Boulder, Colorado. And that's what I want to dive into today, and let's talk about it. In the first couple of songs here, I really personally, in my opinion, it felt like the vocals were up way above the rest of the band. And that all evens out. Just like 3 or 4 songs into this, it becomes where you hear a lot more of the band at levels that are, at least sounds a little bit, in my opinion, just sounds a little bit better a couple of songs into it. But you're talking to someone that loves Wilco, and really at this point in what they were doing, I felt like they could do no wrong. I was really a big fan of this. So we kick off with Via Chicago. It doesn't take long at all to get into a great run of songs. I Must Be High, I'm Always in Love. Actually, those are flipped. It goes, I'm Always in Love, and then I Must Be High. So the band starts gearing up and starts really rocking for what's gonna happen next when they go into Hotel Arizona, which I don't recall what album that song's on. It's not one that registers to me, even as a fan. But we go Hotel Arizona, Red, Eyed and Blue, I Got You, and Nothing's Gonna Stand in My Way Again. And in this package of 4 songs, which happens about the middle of the first disc, you really see Wilco branching out. There's so much Jay Bennett, the multi-instrumentalist, keyboard player. There's so much of Jay's work on here. And this is really in the beginnings of their experimental stage, Wilco, with their rock sound, where they were really doing some things that were not unlike jam bands. They're really jamming out a lot of their stuff. And we see that with Wilco through the years. In fact, some of their stuff in the, let's say, 2010 range really reminded me of some Grateful Dead type songwriting, which, those guys are going to be one of the great grandfathers of the jam band scene. But I feel like Wilco, in this run of songs that start with Hotel Arizona and go through Nothing's Ever Gonna Stand in My Way Again, got 4 or 5 songs there together that's really just jam after jam, and they sound really good and really tight, and it's fun to hear the band blowing through these songs. Then we're gonna flip, and we're gonna do several off of the Summerteeth album, kind of in the same sequence that they are on the album. And I believe that starts with She's a Jar, goes to Shot in the Arm, and goes to We're Just Friends, which We're Just Friends, was that on Summerteeth? Sometimes it's hard for me to remember. Confession, I liked the AM record when it came out. First of all, let's take a step back. Big Uncle Tupelo fan. Big Uncle Tupelo fan, and when we had the AM record and Sunvolt had their Trace album, I was more into Sunvolt. And then when Wilco dropped Being There, the first disc of Being There to me was excellent all the way through. I loved it. So anything off that I really enjoy. And then when Summerteeth came out, I felt like, man, now I really like Wilco more than I like Sunvolt. And that's kind of been the trajectory ever since. But enough about my backstory, because I'm kind of all over the place with it. We're here to talk about the Summerteeth Reissue, the live album from Boulder, Colorado. And then we're going to hit the intermission. All right, so we come out of the intermission. We've got a couple of songs from the Wilco Billy Bragg album, Mermaid Avenue. We start with Hesitating Beauty, and then we go to Christ for President, which, hey, might have been a better option. Who knows? Let's not get political. From there, we drop back to the AM record with one of the great songs off towards the end of the AM record. It's called Passenger Side. Really enjoyed that. And what I enjoyed about it, and what I love about live music, and you probably too, especially about live records that you hear, is during Passenger Side, somebody hits a bad note. And when they hit the bad note, you hear Jeff Tweedy kind of laugh while he's singing whatever lyric it is at that time. You just hear a little chuckle, which is funny to me because he's acknowledging, yep, I heard that bad note. Shit happens, man. Then we go to Forget the Flowers shortly after that. And at the end of Forget the Flowers, the band references that there must be a fight somewhere kind of in front of them because they're seeing a fight. And they reference, hey, you know, it's Wilco is definitely music to fight to, which is, of course, not true. And somebody in the band even drops us a little Easter egg, a little live music Easter egg with the phrase, "Who's fighting and what for?" And if you're a fan of live concerts and you've seen Rolling Stones' "Gimme Shelter," which chronicles the disaster that happened at Altamont, then you know that's what Mick Jagger was screaming is who's fighting and what for. He screams it, you know, says it several times, and the guys in Wilco are quoting that at that time. Now we go through a couple more songs. We're getting close to the end. I know they do Kingpin off of Being There, and then it's time for a murderer's row of classic Wilco rock songs. You've got Casino Queen and Out of Sight, Out of Mind. Then they're going to do Hocus Pocus, another one of their numbers with Billy Bragg, and they wrap it up with Monday. I'm all high, get me out of FLA. I just love Wilco. I love their live records, much like Kicking Television. And if you haven't listened to that one, it's amazing. It has a little more content as it came out after after Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. But all in all, this Summerteeth concert, November 1, lots of great songs. Good to hear the band jamming with Jay Bennett. I really, really liked what he brought to the band. And I love what Nels Cline has brought to the band since Jay left. But man, it sounds really good hearing them jam out. And it was exciting. And I enjoyed it. And I'm going to listen to it again. And I love to listen to these live albums. I love to talk about these live albums. And I love it when you like it when I talk about it. And I love it when you subscribe it when I talk about it. And let's do it some more, because that sounds like a good idea for everybody.